Ham Radio, it's your boy Tony G and Big Lou on the Sports Book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Want to say happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. Thank you, Lou. Thanks, everybody else out there, whoever is a veteran and listens to our show. Lots of great stuff to talk about. Going to try to cover everything. Like I said, we only got an hour, 56 minutes to be exact. Heck of a weekend in football, NFL, some upsets, some great player prop payouts. Starting with the Thursday night game, it was like watching paint dry with
Oh my
Broncos
God.
and the Raiders. I mean, they couldn't, and the Raiders were right there, and and it just makes you wonder. I know the Broncos are 8-2, but at times Bo Nix just doesn't look that consistent. They had a lot of holes. They didn't look so super. I know they're 8-2, but I don't know. It definitely looked like they could have lost that game. There's been a couple other games that's been kind of shoddy, but they're 8-2 in the AFC. So hats off to them. They're leading. They are leading the push. Well, not leading. They're tied with the Colts. But yeah, the under. I mean, it was. Yeah, I really thought the Broncos were going to come in, or no, not but Raiders were going to. They were traveling, and I thought the Broncos were going to put shellacking on them, and it definitely wasn't that. Raiders actually scored first, went into the half. It was 7-7, and it stood there to the third quarter, field goal. So yeah, it was definitely surprising on that. Broncos didn't cover. I did our little update on the page, and when we do our drops, and somebody hit me up right before the game, call him Diamond Dan, and he sent me a thing. He said the Raiders plus 9.5, and I don't know about that. And sure enough, Raiders plus 9.5 got you the win. Did you watch any of the Falcons Colts game?
I caught some of the highlights. I
Holy,
caught
holy
yeah,
cow!
I caught some of the highlights, but man,
That was
wow. What
yeah, that was. I mean, the Atlanta was there. Um, and
yeah.
if you had Jonathan Taylor's rushing yards as a prop, holy cow! He ran for
Oh my God.
244. Yes, plus 300 or something crazy. Plus four. I can't remember 120. Was more than that. I mean, it was just unbelievable. He got off, boy. That's
244 yards with 3 touchdowns. That's
with three
ridiculous.
touchdowns.
244 yards rushing. That is ridiculous.
You put the 200 plus three touchdowns, and you got paid. I mean, it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
And Atlanta was right there, and like I said, Indianapolis came back. They went over because really, so I was questioning the under on that, but then it just kind of got creeped up on you. You know what I mean? It was like 13 here, then another 14, and uh, going into half was 14-13. So you're thinking, oh man, the under, man, they squeaked out some points. And yeah, it was a good game, and overpaid. The Giants and the
Mm-hmm.
Bears. Ryan Dable is fired. He is gone.
Yeah.
4 years.
Oh.
Coach of the year a couple years ago. Um,
Yeah.
and he's gone. 4 years. Brian Dable gone. Um, Maybe he works his way back to Buffalo. I mean, he was a Buffalo assistant for a long time. You never know. Um, he was a great assistant, which pretty much landed him the job in the Giants, and they just been one thing after another. And I can't really say I believe it's all his fault by any means. Uh, Saquon Barkley deal mishandled. Daniel Jones, what was going on? Why did he go from high level um, high level to playing terrible? Run him out of town. He goes to the Colts and is playing like a superstar. It's
Right.
just it's just baffling.
Yeah. You change teams and then you go, you have a good chance to go into the playoffs.
And it's crazy because the Colts are Colts got a great running back, but New York had a great running back. They had Saquon Barkley. I know he was coming back from an
Uh-huh.
injury, um, and yeah, I don't know. It was mishandled. The Giants haven't been relevant in some time now. Um, Usually, a organization founded on winning, and I mean, a winning tradition, and just hasn't been the last. I'd say the last 15 years, 10 years. Just has been terrible for him. Going into my Bills and the Dolphins, hats off to the Dolphins for whooping up on the Bills because that's exactly what they did. Um, Buffalo, I mean they put 13 points up in the fourth quarter, squandered a lot of opportunities. Um, and I'm gonna tell you this, as a Buffalo Bills fan, I might be a little bit hard on them at times, but I'm starting to wonder, did we miss our opportunity? For 6 years, we dominated our division.
Mhm.
We don't dominate it no more. We got New England. We got New England leading the pack right now. We let them come back in. Um, we'll get to them in a second, but yeah, the Dolphins came in, and the Bills intercepted him first drive of the game. Looked like, oh man, this is going to be a cakewalk. Um, I took Cook. I took Cook for the yardage, and I took Cook, and I also took anytime touchdown for Josh Allen. And just didn't work. There you are. I was wondering where you went. I thought you disappeared on me.
No, I
Yeah,
had to adjust the
did
lighting.
yeah, it just didn't work out for him. And hats off to the 3-7 Miami Dolphins. Buffalo's going to have to figure it out and get back. But like I said, that the window of opportunity may have already passed them. A lot of people go, "Oh man, you're just being honest, man. You only get a short window in the NFL. Very seldom do you get long windows, period. Even like New England when they were winning their Super Bowls, they had some off seasons and they came back, added a lot of people. Um, we're just not. I guess we're just not adding enough. The Ravens and the Vikings, very good win for the Ravens because the Vikings ain't no joke. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, they're only 4-5, but they got a really good defense. The Ravens are 4-5, and you realize the Ravens are in second place in their division. So they're right there behind Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's done
Right.
fumbled the ball.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, they had an opportunity to be in the driver's seat of that division, and now you got the Ravens at 4-5, and in the way that division looks, whoever wins the division going to the playoffs, and whoever comes in second probably isn't going to make the playoffs. Um, Lamar had a good day. Like I said, I didn't see what I didn't pay it. What I didn't. Let me see what he had. Henry had 75 yards, so he had a decent day. Lamar Jackson had 176 yards, one TD, one sack. JJ McCarthy had two interceptions. But they were, I mean, that this was another game that could have went either way. Because going into the half, it was a 19 or well going into the fourth quarter, it was 19-13. So and it just kind of didn't work out. But the Ravens got Lamar back. Definitely a whole different team with him in the helm. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. And then you got Henry, a guy having a good day. The Jets and the Browns. The Jets beat the 2-7 Browns 27-20. Jets actually look pretty decent. The Browns, still struggling. Still got that great.
Yeah.
Still got that. They've got a really good defense, great pass rush,
Mhm.
but just can't do anything offensively. Um,
Right. The Jets really
just
needed that win too. They
yeah, they
really,
really, yeah,
really needed that win too.
but that's another organization that's had a lot of problems. You know what I mean? They've had a couple decent years. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, they're coming out, and then it just implodes. Um, and it implodes. Then we go talking about the Patriots, who are 8-2,
Mhm.
who are leading their division, and the
Yep.
Buccaneers.
They put the
Pates go
flame out
into
on the Ram.
Tampa.
Yeah, they put the flame out on the
Yeah.
bake show. They turned the oven down. They turned up and down on the Big Show
I
at
sure
home.
did, man. When I'm
At home.
yes, at home,
And their running
and
back
that's a
was running
huge
crazy as well. They was running crazy as well
yeah,
on the Buccaneers defense. The Patriots were. Their offense looked great.
yeah,
And Drake May looks like that could be the quarterback that could get them to the playoffs.
yeah. Henderson ran for 147 yards. Tampa Bay's defense um just couldn't do anything with him. Baker Mayfield had a good day.
Yeah.
273 yards, three TDs. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do. They need to get him some help. I know there's some injuries on the defense. But this time of year, everybody's got, that's not a
Yeah,
everybody's
everybody's hurt.
got
Everybody's playing hurt.
everybody.
Hmm.
So, that's just kind of part of the deal. So you got to, next man up. Um, the Saints and the Panthers. The Saints, I mean, the Panthers are 5-5. The Saints are 2-8. The Saints had, I mean, they won, man. You know what I mean? I ain't a whole lot you can
Yeah,
say, but they won. Went into the half with
yeah,
a three
yeah,
point lead. Um,
yeah. It was
and they
good. It was a
looked,
good win for the Saints.
yeah, it really was. It was a very good win for the Saints. So are you thinking that Tyler Show is going to be that's the quarterback we need to stick with? We had 282 yards. Am I saying his name right? Tyler, it's
I think it's
Shough.
I think it's Shoe
It's
or Show,
Shoe.
one or the other.
Okay, yeah.
Tyler
And Bryce,
Show. I think it's Show.
yeah. I mean, Kamar
But
ran for 83 yards, and the kid
yeah,
looked pretty good.
yeah, he does. They both had flashes. Um I just think they need a veteran presence there.
Right.
Uh, somebody that can, talk to a player to player. Um, I don't I had more confidence in Rattler than Scholl, but he stepped in and he did his job. He's got a victory under his belt. Um, and no quarterbacks out of the draft excite, you know, as far as like
Yeah.
leading your franchise. So they're probably going to need a veteran presence there, somebody that can come in and kind of stabilize it or give them the time to learn and grow and mature in the offense. But I know the only way they're going to do that is to play, and we'll just see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. That's all. I mean, that's basically, I mean, that's all you can do is just kind of wait and see and see who emerges out of the quarterback room. Hey, here's another crazy one. The Jaguars and the Texans going into the fourth quarter, it
That
was
was crazy.
29, yeah, 29-13, and they let the Texans, who really, if it would have lost this, would have been really lost for the season. Um, they would have been 3-6. It would have been a long road. But now at 4-5, they looked good. I mean, after last year, um, a lot of people were, expecting great things from them.
Yeah,
And
because they put up such a great performance during that season, and they
yes,
got some victories in the playoffs. So it's like, okay, these guys on the right track. Let's go.
yes,
And it didn't kind of turn out the way that we were expecting based off of what they did after their playoff run year.
yeah, it just did not did not hasn't panned out yet. The season's still, like I said, they're 4-5, so they still can manage a winning season, still go to the playoffs. But they were slipping there, and they pull out this win. Seahawks and the Cardinals. The Seahawks are for real. Seahawks are for real.
Seahawks are
They
for real.
Yeah, holy cow, they are definitely for real. And I think after this season, I think this will be the last year that uh the Cardinals quarterback will be with them. I think he will go somewhere else. I think his time there is I mean, I'm not blaming him totally by any means, but I just think he's not the guy. He's had some flurries. I know he's had some injuries. Um, but I think he'll go somewhere. I think they'll because he's near the end of his contract. Because I remember when he got the big money. Um, um, and I know I know he's hurt, but and he didn't play. I get that, but you got Jacoby Brissett who gave you a good game, and I think you could maybe get you can get some you can get some pieces, some draft choices, some money, and say goodbye. You know what I'm saying? That's my like I said, I know he wasn't playing, and it's like man, he wasn't even playing, and I'm blaming him at all, but I just think that team it just it needs something. It needs just a restart. They had that one year they won 10. They were 10-5. He got hurt, lost the I think they lost the next two or whatever they ended up with, and then he just it just hasn't clicked. But I think he'll be gone at the end of the season. Um he'll be in football. Rams and 49ers. Man, the Rams always look good. Always look good.
Yeah,
And I know the
yeah, I
49ers
watched
have
this
got a
game.
bunch of injuries.
Yeah, yeah, they paper clips and duct tape, but they keep finding ways to they find ways to stay in games. You know, there was a couple of plays that they could have had, but Stafford and the Rams offense, Devontae was cooking all night. Kyrie Williams was cooking, and when the Renegades cooking, then you can open it up for Puka Nakua and Bigsby and the rest of the guys. But it was an excellent showing from the Los Angeles Rams. Good effort by the 49ers. I just think they left some plays out there, that could have got them some scores.
I mean,
Turnovers
Mac
too.
Jones, yes, Mac Jones was 33 of 39, 319 yards, three touchdowns. He did have one pick, but man, I'm not saying he's going to take Purdy's job, but I'm just saying he's putting on a good resume for himself at the end of the year. Maybe somebody
Yeah,
pays him some big money to go somewhere.
right, right. And because they just paid Purdy some change, so you know.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, it's about winning. And if he's winning and he's running that offense, and it looks like he's doing a pretty decent job at that, then
yeah,
you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I mean, you didn't know
yeah.
you was going
There's
to end up
no
with Matt Jones, so you know, had to pay him.
the Lions and the Commanders, man. So Detroit was so powerful last year, and they're still good. Maybe not like the level they were last year. Um, and I know Washington, the quarterback's hurt. Marcus Mariota um, threw for 213 yards, two TDs, no interceptions. I mean, he did his. Jared Goff threw for 320 yards, three TDs. The big difference here was Gibbs is running 142 yards. I mean, they controlled it. You know what I mean? And with that much time of possession, he had that was another big prop. Um,
Mhm.
Gibbs 2 TDs, 142 yards. That was another big payday. If you had him in any of those, and if you even dared to put them together, that was a um, huge day. And like I said, Washington's just missing a lot of pieces. I mean, their star quarterback. They got some offensive line situation that isn't the greatest. Jared Goff, they never even got close to him. Uh, they were close, but they didn't give up any sacks, so that was pretty good. But the Detroit 6-3, they look good. Um, they're still explosive. Like I said, last year they were just so over dominating, but this year the league seems so. so much more equal or parity amongst the league. It just seems like there's so much more um, parity in the league where anybody can beat anybody any given Sunday. I hate to use that cliche, but in reality, that's really kind of that's really how it is. I mean, I think Detroit's schedule is not too terrible because where you realize we are at the halfway mark or beyond the half. We got 17 games. We got 8 games left.
Absolutely.
So that being said,
But
I mean,
yeah,
wait for the
yeah. So
season.
it's time to buckle down, and everything's going to crank up a little bit. Because as the
Yeah, I
season
mean,
progresses, then the sense of urgency tends to tighten up teams.
yes, yes. Um, Go to the Chargers, Steelers. Now the Steelers are in first place at 5-4, and the Ravens are behind them at 4-5. So the Steelers had an opportunity um, to take control over the division and just have not been able to. I mean, they're 5-4. Um, Justin Herbert looked good. He didn't throw an interception. Um, Vidal ran for 95 yards. They ran it like, typical hardball kind of football game. Um,
Mhm.
Not letting him throw. He threw 33 times, completed 20. Um, Aaron Rodgers he was 16 of 31, 2 interceptions. Someone, I was listening to someone talk and they said he looked 41 years old yesterday. I mean, I don't,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah. They
that's
say they look like old Aaron Rodgers. So
yes,
I heard. Look, I heard that as well. It's like, yeah, the old Aaron Rodgers was on the field yesterday or Sunday
yes.
rather.
And Metcalf only had 3 receptions for 35 yards. Um, when you pay him all that money and you're not targeting him more, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the deal is on that because I mean he is an all time great talent at wide
Yeah,
receiver. Um,
it's
he
called
could do.
offense. Yep, offensive coordinators
eh,
not taking advantages of the tools and the weapons that they have because they have a certain way of designing and calling plays, and I don't think sometimes it suits your best, uh, your best receiver or your
Attributes.
best, yeah, your best player. It doesn't suit their attributes, so you're gonna have to bend your play calling to what they're good at so that you can get the best results out of them.
Well, Pittsburgh ran for 70 yards, 73. Jalen Warren had a pretty decent day. Um, but just like I said, those 2 picks, some other. I mean, he barely hit 50% of his passes. So that was and after the game. He said, he has to play better. He will play better. He acknowledged that he didn't play well yesterday. Um, but like I said, in that division, I think whoever wins the division is going to the playoffs. But I don't think second place gets you in the playoffs in that division.
Right, right.
I think you're going to be left out. And the Ravens have a really good chance of turning this around. They win 2 more, and and they win 2 more. They're 6-5. If Pittsburgh splits it, um, they're 6-5. You know what I mean? It's very
Right, right.
possible that could happen. Um, and I don't know what the plan. I guess what the plan was. It was like Rodgers. From what I understand, Rodgers is not planning on this. Is supposed to be the last year.
Yeah,
Supposedly going to be the
supposed to
last
be.
year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Pittsburgh has got some idea who they're going to use as their quarterback, or if they got somebody. I don't think they really have anyone there that they're grooming. It would be good to have
Hmm.
somebody there that they could groom for Rodgers to groom. But it does not appear that. It just appears like they were trying to build something for this year, which going after Metcalf and a couple other players. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you watch this game, I mean, going into the half, it's 12-3,
Mhm.
and typical Pittsburgh kind of play. It's kind of grinded out, kind of, and then going into the fourth, it was 15-3, and
Mhm.
then they always like to keep Pittsburgh always seems to want to keep it close so they could strike later and walk away with the victory, but they just couldn't. Then the Chargers came into the fourth, scored 10, made it 25, and then Pittsburgh did get get a last ditch touchdown to make it
Mhm.
a little bit more respectable. But really, this game, the Chargers really dominated the game. They really threw Pittsburgh around, kind of manhandling them. And you've seen issues, and I'm sure they will address. I mean, that's a heck of a franchise, um, and I think they will address it. I just don't know if it's really going to make that big of a difference this late in the season, or I have to look. They got a pretty fatal. Um, they got to play the Ravens, obviously, but saying that
Uh-huh.
is, I think they have a yeah, they have a shot at winning the division. They're just gonna have to hold steady, and they're gonna have to put some points on the board. Offense, he's got to come alive. I mean, they got to score more than 10 points. Um, he's got to do better than 16 for 31.
Yeah,
And
I
I
agree.
think you
I
have to
agree.
put, and I think you have to get Metcalf involved in the game way more. I mean, because that's what kind of receiver he is. He's dominating. Um, He's a big, fast man. I mean, there's no doubt he's a big man that's very fast, that can catch the ball. He does well
Mhm.
after the catch. I mean, it's on, and he's got 3 receptions. You know what I mean? That's like,
Ridiculous.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like getting Derrick Henry and go, yeah, we're just gonna pass the ball. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. But
It's like
anyway, when we
what
get back, we're gonna go over our picks. We're going to go over our picks. And like I said, if you guys want to reach out to us on Facebook at Sportsbook. Reach out to us at KM Radio. If you have any public events coming up or anything you're interested in on advertisement, please give us a shout out to. All right, guys, we will be back covering our picks. All right here on the biggest station in the land. And again, happy Veterans Day to everybody. It's KM Radio every Tuesday night. Tony G, Big Lou, the sports book on KM Radio, where we go and
hell?
bingo. KM Radio, it's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Again, happy Veterans Day to everyone. Appreciate your service. If you're just tuning in now, we're going to go over our picks. We covered some games. Got a lot of good matchups this week, as we do. Um, Lou's pulling he's disappearing. He's disappearing. It's all good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I'm trying to
okay.
fix this light. Yeah, we're good. All right.
All right. All right. First game going to be our Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me pull it up. New York Jets, New England Patriots. Jets are coming off a win. Um, Patriots are coming off a win. The spread's 11.5. I mean, the Patriots are rolling, but with these conference games, like we always talk about, they know each other very well. They know each other better than they play each other twice a year. They're very familiar with each other. Like on these, you got to, I mean, like, don't shy away from the spread where it goes, or I ain't saying take. I'm not saying take the Jets because I think the Patriots are going to handle their business, and I think the way the Patriots are playing right now and the way they're coached, they will not play down to their opponent.
Mm.
That's the difference. And I think because of he's from the Belichick tree, they will play them like they're playing in the Super Bowl. Um, and I think New England rolls over the Jets. I mean, you see New England having a stutter step here. I just don't see it. Like I said, because I know how they're coached.
Right. Uh, there's nothing but discipline in that building, and I think they're getting back to the old Patriot way of doing things, but with a little tweaking to it and a little modernizing
Yeah,
to it. And it seems to be working. And I think with that and knowing Mike Vrabel and his staff, I don't think they're like you said, I don't think they're gonna downplay. Uh, they're gonna downplay this game. I think they're gonna come in and they're gonna take the Jets seriously, and they're gonna get a victory.
yeah. And I think they win by 14. Um,
Mhm.
like I said, it just you have to at some point, you got to blame somebody. It's like, well, like I said, what happened to the Bills in Miami? It's like, hey man, Miami's coming in, they're struggling, they're out of all kind of people. We need to steamroll them. We don't need to, the office don't need to be petering out. And I think New England, even though it's a conference game, I think New England. I don't even put that in there. New England by 14. Because there is a thing on your app that you could pick how many points they're going to win by.
Okay,
You can
cool.
actually that's another
Oh,
that's
that's
another
awesome.
prop that you could. Yeah, that's another prop. Washington and Miami Dolphins. So they're both pretty rough. Miami's coming off a win over the Bills. Mariota isn't playing terrible, but the Washington is got a lot of issues, a lot of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami at home.
Shane is gonna have a excellent day that day too. He's gonna eat that day too
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, minus two and a half. And I like Miami at home. I don't think Washington. I don't, like I said, I think they're lacking. Even if they had their starting quarterback, I think they're just lacking a lot of positions and a lot of injuries. They're having a hard
Yeah.
time, protecting the quarterback. Um, so I like Miami minus the 2.5 at home. The over under is 47. Mariota they can put some points on, and Dolphins can too. May not be a bad. I'm gonna circle the over. Circle the over. Right, come back to it. Yeah. So like I said, we like Miami, and we're leaning towards over at 47 and a half. You
Mm-hmm.
might even be able to see what Tua's yards are. Passing
Yeah.
yards might be a good one, or anytime touchdown. Um, Houston, Texas, and the Tennessee Titans.
Hmm.
This is at first glance easily to go. Well, the Texans are just gonna P-roll.
Yeah,
Um,
so you would think.
so you would think, but just to kind of put it in, Tennessee Titans are 1-8. They've had some games where they've played very, very, they've played decent. What I mean, they've hung in there, and then faltered at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And you got I'm looking at, you got Houston at 4. You got Houston at 4-5. Houston's coming off a win. I like Houston minus. Get rid of the hook. It's 7.5,
Mm-hmm.
but try to get them at FF Boutique. Houston. Gotcha. Right. Maybe we check a little bit of CJ Stroud's prop numbers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we got Houston. The over's 39.5. That's one of those ones that hook you because you go, it's only
Yeah.
39 points, but that could be, it could be 24 nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And the Titans points against haven't put up a lot of points per game. Like the differential is minus 127, which is a lot. Um, Points for, they scored 130 points in 9 games. A little
Jeez.
bit over, yeah, yeah, yeah. Not big scores. Um, so I would stay away from the over
Mm-hmm.
or under. Maybe look at the under that on there, 39.5. Maybe
Uh-huh.
tease it down to 36. I don't. I mean, there's a lot you could do. Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers. So here's one I'm going to tell you. I don't know if Cincinnati could pull it off, but I will say this: don't sleep on Joe Flacco's yards because he could put up some numbers. He's been putting up some
Mm-hmm.
numbers. I know they lost, but he's putting up 350 yards, 390 yards. I mean, he is. Uh, I like Joe's yards. Got to take a look at him,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the money's going to be split because you could get, like I said, if you could tweak the Bengals to 6, this could be a really close game. It'd be closer
Okay.
than what you think. And especially now, you got to take this in consideration too. If Rodgers has another bad day like he had, you know what I mean, and it's out there. You know what I mean, it's something you have to. I mean, Flacco's going to throw an interception. That's kind of given. He'll probably throw one,
Right.
but he's got the receivers
Mm-hmm.
and he's got the arm. And as we've seen, him and them receivers, they're playing well together. And you uh and you gotta watch because, like I said, and if Rodgers has another bad day, Cincinnati could pull this game out. Uh they really could. I mean, the only problem with Cincinnati is their defense isn't the greatest. Um I like the Joe Flacco, and I'm not against the Bengals with 6. But I like the Flacco yards though.
Okay.
I definitely, because he
I'm
has
cool
put
with
up
it too.
yeah, I mean he has put up some he has put up some serious he's put up some yards. Okay. The Chargers and the Jaguars. The Jaguars, I don't know. They gave up a win. They let somebody score 26 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, and that's not um Sunshine's fault. You know what I mean? That's not his fault.
Right. Right.
Um, but just the way they're playing and the way the Chargers are playing, um, is they're going to keep it simple for Justin. Because
Yeah.
that's pretty much that's pretty much Harbaugh's way. He knows what Herbert can and will and won't. You know what I mean? And that's where he tries to keep, which is smart. You don't let him do
Mm-hmm.
anything. I don't ask him to do anything outside of his realm.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I think, I like the Chargers. But see, like games like this, you got to really be careful because Herbert has that game in him where he'll throw 3 picks. You know what I mean? And you're like, and it can happen anytime. Um, Proving his track record. Um, but yeah, other than that, I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers and minus the 3.5. This next game is a huge game. If you get a chance to watch it, I'm not telling you to watch it because my Buffalo Bills are in it. I'm telling you to watch it because these are two teams that are 5-4, or actually the Bills are 5-4, and Tampa is 6-3. I think it's a must win for both of them. I think
Mhm.
I
I
think
agree.
Tampa doesn't. Yeah, I don't think Tampa wants to lose, go to 6-4, and then you got the Carolina Panthers at 5-5, kind of behind. You know what I mean? Because that's another one of those divisions where whoever wins probably. I mean, whoever wins is going to the playoff, and whoever comes in second probably isn't gonna go. Because if you take a look at the standings, I mean, Seattle and the Rams, they both are 7-2, so they're both probably going to finish with a winning record. And then you got Detroit and Green Bay winning records. They're probably both, you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Right.
So I think it's a must win for one. Now who wants it more? I wish I could say, oh, I think Josh Allen and them are gonna come back and or Baker's gonna do. The problem with Baker is he's not the problem. It's the defense.
Right. Right. Right.
Right? We used to be able to go, oh, Baker had 3 interceptions. Baker's playing good. Um, but if you drop his passes and the defense can't stop anyone,
Right.
this may be one of those games. This may be one of those games, uh, Lou, that you you go and you check out Cook's yardage because he could pop off a
Absolutely.
150 yard. Yeah, and so that's another one of like um where to go there. That's another one. This is one of these games where that could easily happen. But I think, in my heart of hearts, I think that this is I think this is a must win for both teams in order for them to seriously. I know it is for the Bills. I mean, they
Hmm.
can't fall.
Must win.
They'll
You
be
can't.
three.
Yeah.
They can't be 3 games behind New England. Um, I just don't see. I mean, they need to stay as close as possible because the New England's 98% is going to beat the Jets, and you got
Hmm.
you got to keep pace. So like I said, I ain't saying who I like in this one. This one's going to be a tough one. They're playing in Buffalo. It will be cold. Um, it'll be in the 30s. It's been in the 30s there for the last 4 days in the morning. And then it's been getting up to like 40. So this weekend could have some cold weather, which definitely
Yeah.
plays a factor
About.
with them coming in from with them coming in from Tampa, because Tampa's really nice this time of year. So
Hmm.
that's a factor. Um, so make your decision off that one. And if you said, well, you never said which one, I didn't say. All I said was maybe Cook's props, maybe look at Baker's yards, but it's a must win for both. Carolina, Carolina and Atlanta. Carolina is they got Atlanta favored. Okay. So,
Hmm.
and I could kind of see Atlanta's at home. Atlanta's 3-6. Carolina Panthers
Okay.
are 5-5. So they're at home. You're saying, Atlanta always plays well, but I think they're not giving the respect to the Panthers the way they should. I think this should be
Hmm.
a closer spread. So if you can tweak, because the Panthers will surprise you. They will, and Atlanta will surprise you too. They'll have a great game and then just lay one out. And their Atlanta's three
Yeah.
wins. They have beaten some people, but in their 6 wins and their 6 losses, I mean, you got to really question, like, okay, which team is showing up today, um,
Right.
and going out there on the field. So that being said, I think that Carolina has proven they're a little bit more consistent. Um,
Hmm.
right now, like I said, I like Carolina with the points. Um, and always remember this
Yeah.
too: is like I said, we give you the picks that we like, and then we go through the picks from Saturday and Sunday. So none of this is
Hmm.
written in stone because things can change. Uh, Always looking at the great thing about football now is you have a little black box in your hand. You can go, who's injured for Tampa Bay. And AI will tell you everybody that's injured, who's injured for Buffalo, and they'll give you all your information. So there might be somebody on that list you're not aware of, or you
Mm-hmm.
just could be a guard, it could be a tackle. But anyway, you have all this information now. Where years ago that information wasn't out there. Um, so use it to your advantage. Try to get as much. You can even pull up. Uh, if they give you Gibbs one, they'll give you 100 yard, him gain 100 yards at a minus 160. Well, you could Google his average, and if his average is 80, that's not a good bet. You know what I mean? That's not statistically a good bet. He's averaging 80. They're not giving me good odds on him gaining 100. So, and like I said, this is all stuff we have at our fingertips that I think a lot of people, I think there's a lot of people that do take advantage of it. But I think there's a lot that don't. Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Minnesota Vikings are trending down. Chicago has some they're trending up. Chicago's 6-3. But here's the deal. Minnesota has a really good defense, and they do have a couple key players out of a linebacker. They got a second string linebacker, a defensive end, a couple other pieces. So I think they're going to give them fits, but I think Chicago wins this. And if they don't, I think you have to then you have to really kind of question, well, how good are the Chicago Bears really? Or is it just to have a favorable schedule? But
A little bit of
I do
both.
like Chicago. Yeah, a little bit of both. Hey, man, you got to play who they put in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him about that. And he's had some good games, and they've had some rough games. But if you can get after him, you can get to him, and you can get to the Chicago Bears. But I like the Chicago Bears +3. Like I said,
Okay.
play with that. See if you can get them with 5 or whatever you can get them with. San Francisco and the Cardinals. Uh, I like San Francisco. I think San Francisco will bounce back. I think the Cardinals. Brissett is playing pretty decent ball. They are playing at home, and like I said, I like San Fran to bounce back after that loss. Because one thing, San Fran is well coached,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be working on what they need to improve on and who they're playing. That's one thing about them. They may be down, but they're not out. And so I like San Francisco minus the 2.5 um, over the Cardinals. This next game is going to be the game. I think it's the game of the night, or one of them. Seattle and the Rams. Who you like?
Ooh,
That's a
I
tough
like
one.
the.
That's a tough
Yeah,
one.
it's a tough one. Oh man, I might have to take the Rams at home. Since they're playing at home, I might
Not a
have to
bad.
take the Rams. But I know that the other team they're gonna show up. They're gonna show up. So, but
This is for first place too. By the way, they're both
yeah. So
seven and
this
two. This is for first place in the
right.
division.
So this is probably the most important game. Probably the most important game of the night.
Yeah, 3 o'clock game. Um, the Rams at home. The Rams at home. I'm gonna put them on there. Maybe check out some props. The over is 48 and a half. This could be an explosive game. Um,
Mm-hmm.
can definitely be an explosive game. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams with you.
Mm-hmm.
I got a big circle. I ain't gonna lie. I got a big circle around them, which means that could change. Um,
Right.
it could
As
change,
the week
but
goes. Yeah.
as the week goes. Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns. They always play each other tough.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar's back. Um, the only thing about this is that Cleveland's defense plays really tough.
Yeah.
They're the only thing that's going to keep them in the game close. Um, but I think Baltimore's good enough to beat them by 10. Um, like I said, with Lamar back, it's just such a different team. Uh,
Right.
it's
Right.
just such a different team. He adds his running, his passing. They got Derrick Henry. I mean, they can mix it up. They don't have to throw the ball. I like the Ravens. It's the spread that always throw me. Money line is minus 470. That's too much. But I like the Ravens minus 8.5. What I would do is go in and drop it to 7 and take, you're at 110 or you're at 105. You might be able to get it at 120. And to me, it's worth it. If you could drop it down to 7 for 120, it's definitely worth the juice is worth the squeeze, as they say. Our next game, let me see, it is. So I can get that. All right. Go here. All right, next game is this is going to be a good one too. Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos. They got they got Kansas City favored by 3.5. And I think a lot of that has to do with history. Um, but this is going to be a tough game. They're going to be in Denver. Weather could slow the game down. Sunday game, 325. Um, 3.5 Kansas
Wow.
City.
Mm,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
mm.
I mean, you gotta believe in Bo Nix. Um, can Sean Payton outcoach Reed? You know what I'm saying? Is it, I mean, because this is going to come down to a
Yeah.
lot of statistically uh, plays and where they think the weakness
Hmm.
is, and they're both going to try to capitalize on it. That's obvious that how they are. Um,
Right. Right.
the over is 43.5. This could be one of those dull games, though.
Yeah.
This could be a 7 to 18 game. Could be that. Don't know how the wind's going to be in Mile High. Um, in my book, it's a pick 'em, but they got it at 3.5, and it
Hmm.
may lower. It may lower, but if it gets higher, I don't know. You'd have to lean. If it got any higher, you'd have to lean towards the Broncos. But right now, I'm gonna have to run with the Kansas City. Right now,
Yeah.
minus the
I would do the
three
same.
and a half. Yeah, I mean, I think we both can agree on that. Um, that it's just kind of one of those things where, and check out some props on this on Knicks's yards, um, Patrick's yards. Uh, yeah, just I mean, there's some there's going to be some good props in this. The last game of the night is the Cowboys. The Monday night game is Cowboys and the Raiders. They only got the Cowboys
Cowboys
favored by,
Raiders.
yeah, Cowboys Raiders. They only got them favored by 3.5. Um, I think they're. I mean, this is one that CD Lamb props
Hmm.
anytime touchdown for Dak. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of props here that I really like. 'Cause, I mean, on paper, Dallas should steamroll them, their offense. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right. They.
Yeah,
Right.
uh,
Absolutely right. They should.
on paper, and so the stats should be um, the stats should be good. They should have a really
Mhm.
good game against them. Uh, and don't be surprised if Oakland puts some points up too, because Dallas's defense is kind of not last, but it's in the top. It's in the bottom 10. Um,
Mhm.
and they might be able to put some points in. What's so crazy about the Raiders? Raiders got some decent running backs that it just doesn't seem like they're trying to. Something going on there. I don't know what. I don't know if they're just trying to make a point that did a good choice by bringing the quarterback with them. I don't know. Um, but it just has. But they don't have anyone else really. There's nobody else out there.
Mm.
Um, where did San Fran's old quarterback go? Kenny, not Kenny. The Italian guy. Geez, I can't even remember his name. The one that got hurt. He played for San Francisco. Uh, he went to the Super Bowl. He lost to Jesus. He lost to Mahomes. I just forgot his name. That Brock Purdy took his place.
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo. Yeah, whatever happened, we could edit. I'll add a little more time. You could edit if you can edit that little part where I couldn't remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I cut that out.
where is Garoppolo? I mean, is he somewhere? Is he waiting for a phone call, or is he? I don't know. We're gonna have to research that and
Yeah, we're
see where
gonna.
he is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna do some research on that because I think he's still. I think he's a backup
Injured.
somewhere in the league, or he's injured. I'm not sure. I'll do some. I'll do some digging. I'll do some digging on that and his whereabouts as well.
Was sitting on the couch. He was at home,
Yeah.
and Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, he is having Jimmy Garoppolo. He's 34 years old. He was suspended for the first two games of 2024 for violating the league's performance standard. Garoppolo did not play during the preseason effort to Stanford. And then he spent the remainder of 24 as a backup to Matthew Stanford. Huh. And right now, it says he's still at the Rams. So that may be that might be. I was just curious where he
Yeah.
was, man. He traveled around and just
Yeah.
very injury prone.
Currently, yeah. Currently, he's with the Rams.
But hey, guys, another Tuesday night in the books. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank all our veterans. And again, reach out to us on our Facebook page, Sportsbook, or KM Radio. All right, guys, we'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. The boy Tony G and Big Lou, the Sportsbook on KM Radio, where we go ham.
And